Starting with the basics, it would be worthwhile to consider what bullet hell or Danmaku games actually are. This genre is only known as a game gimmick, thus in order to postulate bullet hells as an art form, we must take away the gaming part. Then we can consider whether the current ideology can evoke feelings in us given those factors. The Toho wiki defines this as it follows. Danmaku, also known as bullet hell in English, is a Japanese term for barrage, as in barrage of bullets. They are similar to the regular shooting games that focus more on weaving through complex patterns containing anywhere from dozens to hundreds of bullets. The genre is considered the hardest genre of shoot-'em-ups. Based on this direct translation, the genre itself should be classified as Danmaku games rather than Danmaku itself, meaning that barrage can eventually be recognized outside of the gaming context and lead to potential for reclassification. For all we know, Danmaku itself just happens to be an arrangement of bullets or a multitude of objects leading to some sort of a pattern. The pattern itself doesn't have to be immediately obvious either, it might as well be chaotic, bearing no actual signs of regularity, though they can be also intricate and complex, giving the barrage a beautiful if deadly nature. The Danmaku genre has attracted many fans who either enjoy the inherent difficulty, the beauty of the enemy text, or both. The games itself happen to use different styles of patterns. Many distinct series manage to stand out from the rest thanks to their approach of how they want patterns to affect the audience. In case of Toho and many similar titles, the patterns are tied closely to the characteristics of the enemy you're currently fighting, making them more standalone and feel much more original from the rest, along with many other factors coming into play such as original music, environment, and even the shape and color scheme can differently affect the player currently facing a given pattern. The patterns on their own happen to deviate in other goals. Their arrangement can also alter their personality when facing it. Thanks to the gaming audience, many patterns manage to be tied to different feelings just by their simple characteristics. Slow, dense patterns happen to be a sign of curious play, making the player test their own pattern reading skills and eventually reaction time. Many times the patterns happen to throw in a twist to them, making the memorization factor more acceptable in the genre later on. Additionally, many patterns manage to pull off their dangerous factor by lowering the density, cranking up the speed to the maximum, and having the information simplified to allow easier reading. Such patterns have been appearing plenty of times on famous cave titles like Dodonpachi and Mushihime-sama. Toho, on the other hand, tries its best to make the experience of dodging such patterns as pleasant as possible to the audience, making the replays of video footage still entertaining despite the fact of having no control over the player. That doesn't mean cave patterns happen to be the bad sort of patterns or not have their own artistic characteristics. One of the most famous bullet hell bosses happened to be Queen Larza from the Mushihime-sama series, known for the title being the hardest video game boss. Her showcase of enemy fire goes to pure terror and has its goal to truly frighten you and leave you helpless in this field of deadly nature. Queen Larza's motivation behind shooting you down is literally revenge for her dead son Aki. To invite your anger and fury, the story and soundtrack tie down to this very climax of her fight, making the player feel frightened whenever fighting Larza.